This is the entity that is indeed gang stalking as a population. And engineer lights on the back of her car while she's facing the fake sun. And this is the same fake sun that's over me while I am inside of Tracy Banks' apartment, as though it's perfectly aimed through what is her living room window at 5:09 p.m. as I take pictures of it. And this is speaking to what is, again, the demonic right in front of your face. And these are demons that come onto the ground. AVANATH Capital Management is going to be prosecuted for the population's ability to come onto the property and share in what is domestic terrorism and psychological torture committed in furtherance of murder and kidnapping. All right. It is the entity that is gang stalking with the sex offender in unit number 55, who's engaging in, like I'm documenting on the podcast. This is engineer light appearing in the shade while you hear that amplified noise. The population is indeed gang stalking. Pauliana is indeed being removed from office. This is a predator. This is a psychopath whose mental illness is a matter of objective evidence to prosecute them for criminal activity. In doing so as a gang stalking mayor, where the whole fake sun remains over the same exact unit. The entity is engaging in this pattern of conduct. This fake sun that is by definition not over Alvarado Gardens in Los Angeles anywhere, stalking in the path with light activity and monitoring while I'm capturing evidence in real time. That's called impunity. All right. And the entity is doing so while the psychopaths are gang stalking in this whole building. All right. They're doing so while the entity has a fake sun that would be shining. You're seeing it here, and it's in perfect alignment through Tracy Banks' living room window as I capture what is impossible light activity. This is not the cause of the light that's on her east living room wall inside adjacent to the front door, nor that which is on the ceiling. That's the evidence of what is stalking with the fake sun, which is demonic. And these are demons that are gang stalking in the city of Ontario. This is, again, it has nothing to do with the fake sun. All right. This is remember also, in order to disconnect from the images that you're seeing, because this is the demonic, and the demonic is being prosecuted for tangible evidence that is not impervious to prosecution. The malice is thereby under the evidence of what's happening at Alvarado Gardens in Los Angeles, where this is not going to be creating any shadow here. This is not going to be stationary over this apartment for 9 hours. This is not perfectly aimed through Tracy Banks' living room window, causing any sunlight on her east living room wall adjacent to the front. Any sunlight to appear in the shade, a covered patio. These are the demons that are gang stalking as a citywide effort, okay? And as demonic as the sound of that train. All right, you already know what the police department is doing, what the Ontario International Airport is doing. Those are the government agents, and they incriminate the demons, the mental health patients who are going to prison. All right, the baby daddy in unit number 41 stalking me while the entity has what is engineer light piercing through and illuminating, creating my upright shadow on the wall inside of her living room. This is at 5 p.m. Remember at 1 p.m. where the entity has the fake sun over me in San Diego, California at the same time at 1:03. Here it is where the Ontario International Airport is the means and the simultaneous engagement in the elements of monitoring. The removal of the Ontario International Airport. This is actual mental illness while the demon possessed engage in what is an abysmal failure in their effort to gang stalk somebody into mental insanity. Their mental illness is put on full display, and they're all going to prison. All right. It is currently, while you want to crossing a path in this engineer light, all right, that's the population, and AVANATH is going to be prosecuted for that. And the mental health patient, all right, engaging in conduct as though she's throwing her body around while I'm capturing engineer light, the fake sun that's perfectly aimed through what are closed blinds. Perfectly aimed through what are closed blinds, and that's supposed to be the cause of engineer light that's behind the front door, creating the pattern of the window and the light. This is demonic, and that was the demonic that the Ontario International Airport. You have the demon-possessed and mentally ill flying commercial planes in Ontario. It is going to be the removal of the Ontario International Airport. This is the same fake sun that RGS is gang stalking, and when they're conspicuously stalking under the guise of engaging in landscaping. At 10:22 in the morning, the fake sun is here, and I'm walking in the parking lot, and I'm giving the fake sun as I stay at the same property. This is not the natural environment. By the way, it's 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 7 hours later, what I documented. It's 5:34 p.m. So you're witnessing the demon possessed who are very severely mentally ill, and it is going to be the removal of the Ontario Police Department, who you've seen gang stalking me under this fake sun at 8:30 in the morning, right here. You've seen them gang stalking at 11:40 in the morning, where you see that fake sun right here, and you're looking at it at the same location while I am capturing the P.O.C. And that fake sun remains in perfect alignment with me inside of one apartment building where the Ontario International Airport is openly, that's the city of Ontario, exhibiting impunity. It's the same mental illness of the mental health patient that's throwing her body around while I'm documenting in the course of what is the federal prosecution's case against the people. That's openly crossed. That's the one with the ears, gang stalking under the fake sun in the morning. All right, in crossing path, he's going to prison. He's also obsessed with my genitalia and monitoring that when I'm in the bathroom. That's the demon in unit number 48. He's going to federal prison. Okay, they're sex offenders together. This is speaking to what is actual mental illness. It's speaking to what federal laws must change with regard to the illusion of mental illness by the target individual that lacks the evidence to prove that they're being targeted by a public entity, and that is using deliberately crafted legislation that is ambiguous and vague and unconstitutional in its application to those who suffer no mental illness and are being falsely depicted, while the mentally ill are targeting an American citizen in an irreconcilable environment. The mentally ill are gang stalking under a fake sun. These are demons in a cartoon environment. This is P.O.C. All right, and that's ongoing pacing by a population together. One vehicle after another. The Ontario International Airport, that's one plane after another. They're pacing amongst engineer light. All right, there is no sun. That is creating what is from Alvarado Gardens in Los Angeles, same time of year, same time of day. That's creating the shadow of what is the patio furniture. The patio furniture is, first of all, speaking to what is at a distance. So this is an upright shadow that's appearing at a lower elevation. That's engineer light. That's not sunlight. And this is, again, the engineer light that is appearing on the, this has nothing to do with the fake sun that you do clearly see, but this is the separation. Understand what the entity is doing with regard to stalking with light. And the entity is doing so while it is monitoring evidence against itself, and it exhibits severe mental illness in doing so. The demon in unit number 55 is stalking, just like I captured on video, with regard to the entity keeping the light source for the duration of the day, and like I captured on podcast, the entity is doing so stalk with amplified noise when I'm in the bathroom. The concentration of the engineer light happens right here, where I'm capturing the images of the engineer light and the fake sun at 5:09 p.m. And in the bathroom, when my panties are down and my genitalia is exposed, that's where the engineer light is the amplified audible noise is amplified in that bathroom space. That's where you're recognizing stalking with noise, stalking with light, stalking, all of them under a fake sun. There is no movement of the sun that's ever in Florida. When you watch the population engage in conspicuous stalking like they foolishly did at 10:22 in the morning, this is the same patio glass door, this is the same apartment, this is the same sidewalk, this is the same property. And the entity is keeping a fake sun. 10:22, that's a matter of video evidence because you saw the fake sun rising at 7:26 a.m. at this same exact apartment building. This is openly engaging in what is federal group stalking and monitoring, and that level of impunity is going to be met with what is severe consequences of the entity. Gang stalking together. It is currently, again, 5:37 p.m. Sex offenders monitoring my genitalia when my panties are down in the bathroom, engaging in that pattern of conduct with knowledge and with malice. Okay, this is AVANATH Capital Management that's going to be prosecuted. You're looking at the population gang stalking with the residents, with the employees, and also doing so with the government. Okay, it is the government acting directly because the people of the state are the government vicariously. It is 5:38 p.m. This is ongoing obstruction of justice, and the mental health of the entity that's going to be prosecuted is put at the forefront of their prosecution. All right, this is mental illness at its finest with regard to the malice and the psychopathic pattern of conduct that is also sexually perverted. This is P.O.C. It is 5:38 p.m.